What's up, desktoppers? In this video, we're discussing Milos Sarcev adds 13 pounds or 6 kilograms to HorseMD in just 6 days. Big Ramy, are the stem cells working on his back? Chad Nichols, his coach, speaks. Samson Dauda looking freaky just 3 weeks out of the 2023 Arnold Classic. Nick Trigili of Bodybuilding and BS commentating the 2023 Arnold Classic versus Fouad and Dennis James. Regan Grimes over 300 pounds, plus much more. Hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and let's get straight into this one. So Milos Sarcev has added 13 pounds or 6 kilograms to HorseMD in just 6 days. Milos shared HorseMD's post here and says first 6 days, ... up 6 kilograms. And HorseMD in his post said 6 days on the new plan with Milos Sarcev. So obviously they're working together. One of Brazil's most popular athletes right now. And as you can see by this front double bicep vest that was posted up by HorseMD, he's looking enormous right now, and he is making the move from Classic Physique to the Open. I think it's going to be a successful change. He missed that weigh-in at that Brazilian show in the Classic Physique last year. He decided not to do the Open at that show, and he's decided to do the Open, I believe, in 2023 under the guidance of Milos Sarcev, which I think is a great move. After we've seen what Milos has done with Samson Dauda, I think he can do great things with HorseMD as well. And it seems like this dude's body wants to grow. He turned pro in the Opens, and I think he can have a very successful career with the physique he's got in the Open class. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Can HorseMD potentially compete in the Open this year and qualify for that 2023 Mr. Olympia? Another Brazilian Milos Sarcev has just started working with as well, and that's Vitor Both, who I think is one of the most underrated Open IFBB pros in the pro league today. He won a show last year in Brazil. It was sort of dismissed a little bit, I believe, just because it was a smaller show in terms of competitors. He competed in the Olympia. He wasn't one of the top 15 sort of guys. He was in those later call-outs. And I think for that reason, he sort of gets dismissed a bit. But this guy can be really good. If he adds a little bit more onto what he's got right now, he doesn't have an ugly physique when you look at his physique. He just needs more overall. He's got a good amount of density. He's got a pretty good amount of muscle as well. He comes in great condition. If you can just add a little bit more to that, and with that extra fullness working with Milos Sarcev, I think you can do really, really well. But let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments below as well. Another Milos Sarcev athlete, we've got 2 more in this video. Regan Grimes, 300 plus pounds in his latest physique update. And this was one thing from Regan that we haven't seen too much, where he's actually gotten really big and added the necessary size to his physique to be not just winning pro shows, but winning good pro shows and placing higher in shows like the Arnold Classic and the Mr. Olympia as well. And if he's 300 plus pounds here, the dude has abs right now. I mean, he looks super swollen up. You can see he's obviously holding a bit of fluid in the face and obviously in the muscles as well, but he has abs. So it's more water on his physique right now here, and just obviously overall more muscle. So I cannot wait to see what Regan does in 2023. Can he win a show, get to the Olympia, and then push up into that top 15 or even top 10 this year? Now onto the last Milos Sarcev athlete we'll discuss in this video, and that's Samson Dauda. And this was posted here by Milos himself, this video, and got one from the back posted by Samson as well. And what is sticking out to me in this video, Samson Dauda is extremely full at 3 weeks out. I don't know if he's just had a carb day or what's happening, but he looks very, very full. The conditioning looks great as well. I'm very, very impressed. And I love the fact that we're getting to see this physique in 2 different lightings as well, because it gives a different perspective. And it's not just, oh, he's in good lighting here. So as you can see here, when he turns to the back, the hamstrings are looking improved, definitely much harder. And when he, hits his shots from the side, he doesn't have those super striated glutes, but the lines do come through from the side now. So he's able to show the glutes are in condition. Yeah, they won't necessarily see it from the back the same way, but if he can show those glute striations from the side, show that his hamstrings are on, so show some more hardness through the back overall, and then he still looks pretty damn conditioned from the front, I think Samson can win the 2023 Arnold Classic. But there are plenty of other guys that he's contending with as well. But let's have a look from the back in the video that he posted up, because this video to me is even more impressive. I don't know if it's the lighting or what it is. There's a black backdrop behind him as well, which obviously helps. But when he hits these shots, you can see the glutes are in pretty damn good shape. They're hard. So while he doesn't have the deep striations, his glutes are hard. His back looks harder than normal. He looks really, really full still. And that was a problem in the past for Samson, where he couldn't come in ultra shredded while maintaining enough fullness. When he always tried to push it a bit too far with conditioning, it's like his whole physique flattened out and he didn't even look as hard. He just looked a little bit smaller. But now that he's held this muscle for longer, it's obviously on his physique from the Olympia, from the Arnold Classic last year, and it's just getting better and better, show to show. This dude just isn't burning out. But if he can come in and win this Arnold Classic, qualify for the 2023 Mr. Olympia, and be able to rest till then, I think we're going to see a very, very impressive Samson, not just at the Arnold Classic, but at that 2023 Mr. Olympia. And is this a guy that could potentially come in and win that Mr. Olympia? If he makes the same improvements he made last year, I think it's a distinct possibility, because he went from being not a Mr. Olympia competitor, not qualifying, to being 6th in the world in 1 year. So take that in, and hopefully we get to see an all-time best Samson Dauda at this 2023 Arnold Classic, and we see a battle between some of these top names. Now, another guy where his back is not his strong suit, but we're seeing the shots from the back, which I absolutely love to see, and that's Akim Williams posting this up, where I think he looks super impressive, because Akim is traditionally not all that sharp from the back, at least in the back, but his glutes and hams can tend to get a little bit harder from the back. But then from the side, he is ultra impressive. You can see the side leg in this back photo as well, back video, but his back's looking harder than normal as well. And this is a great sign for Akim, and Akim's 3 weeks out. So if he can get even harder on this again, and maybe even just fill it out a little bit more, he is going to be ultra impressive. This guy only 2 years ago was 6th place, first call out at the Mr. Olympia, and we're hardly talking about him going into this show based off a few past performances. But when Akim's a little bit off, it hurts him a lot. So if he can find that 2020, I believe it was, Mr. Olympia form that put him in the top 6, he is going to be dangerous in this show as well. And he's going to challenge some of these guys that we're not even talking about him with. So he is a distinct chance of pushing up and knocking off maybe a couple of those names that we're talking about in the top 5 of this 2023 Arnold Classic. Now, let's get on to Big Ramy stem cells. Are they working or not? Now, Chad Nichols posted up this. I'm sure you guys have seen it by now. If you haven't, Chad Nichols said, I found a pic of Big Ramy. Can anybody tell me what year this was taken? This looks like, this is the look we're shooting for at the Arnold this year. Then Big Ramy comments, I think last week, lol, in a laughing face. So he gave it away a little bit there. Then we had Mitch G in the comments, who I know as well, says cardio day of the Arnold, because obviously I reported on it on Desktop Bodybuilding. But Mike Van Wyck said on Fouad Abiad's podcast that he saw Big Ramy in the gym for an hour doing cardio, sweating his ass off on the stepper, and then training abs afterwards, covered in sweat. The morning of a Mr. Olympia prejudging, which seemed crazy to me. Chad Nichols responds and says, at Mitch G, I would say absolutely not, but you never know. Big Ramy likes his cardio. So Big Ramy is going to have a lot of different variables going into this comp as well, because he is not, I believe, training with Dennis James for those last X amount of weeks. I think Dennis James said he was traveling on his podcast, so he will not be working with Big Ramy. I believe he even said he hadn't heard from Big Ramy. So that's interesting. We have not seen Big Ramy win a big contest like the Arnold or the Olympia without actually going and staying with Dennis James at the end of a prep. So that's one big factor for Big Ramy, but also the lats. That's a huge factor as well. But like, obviously another thing is he won't be doing cardio the morning of a contest, which apparently he always does. So I don't know how that's going to work, to be honest with you guys. But Ron Harris says from Muscular Development, I was hoping it was now. So he obviously hadn't seen, but it was only a few days ago or last week or whatever. Chad Nichols responds and says it's from February 9 and it's not a perfect shot. It's a screenshot from a video, so you can tell his arms are a little forward, but overall moving in the right direction. By the Olympia, the change should be crazy. And honestly, it is a very good process to watch, because there is a ton of athletes that have very similar issues that could benefit from this. So obviously Ronnie, he had the nerve damage down the left side of his body where the lat was disappearing a little bit, the tricep, the leg, and all that sort of stuff. So maybe Ronnie could have won 9 had he had this treatment as well, if it is working as well as they, I suppose, are appearing to put out, but it's actually working for Big Ramy's back. Now let's look at the photos, the comparison from the 2022 Mr. Olympia and the photo from 3.5 weeks out. And you got to say, it looks a lot better. But is that a posing change, or is that the stem cells working, or is it a combination? It's definitely a posing change, because his elbows, his wrists were forward. He's sort of almost falling forward and then pulling his elbows back and contracting it down a little bit at the Mr. Olympia. Was this because he couldn't open up his back for whatever reasons? Has he had treatment on that? Where has he had massage? Has he had release techniques done? Who knows? But it does look dramatically better. But is it back to where it was? Is it going to be behind where it was in the past? And will that be enough if Ramy comes in full enough of this Arnold Classic to actually win back the title with the, the few issues he has with his physique? Let me know in the comments below on that. And in our last story, Nick Trigili from Bodybuilding and BS is commentating the 2023 Arnold Classic pay-per-view. You guys might be saying, doesn't Fouad and Dennis James do that? Well, they do. And you're going to be able to choose between Nick Trigili from Bodybuilding and BS's commentary and Fouad Abiad and Dennis James's commentary, which they'll probably have Arnold jumping on there and stuff as well. So very, very interesting. And here's what Nick had to say about it.
I just want to come on here and tell you guys I am so excited that I got this opportunity to do the commentary for the Arnold Classic this year. In just a couple weeks, you guys are going to see what real commentary is supposed to be like for bodybuilding. I promise I'm going to deliver something no one's ever seen before. This is going to be above and beyond anything at any other show. And first, I got to thank Brian Powers from the Arnold Classic Committee and the entire Arnold Classic organization for giving me this opportunity.
So this is huge news for Nick Trigili and also for bodybuilding YouTube as well, because we've seen, obviously, over the past years, we have Nick Strength and Power. We had a whole bunch of guys that have been coming up. And then the guys like More Plates, More Dates, Greg Doucette, and then you got the more hardcore channels as well. And it's a brilliant thing because I think while many people have a voice now, and maybe some shouldn't, I think it's great that everyone does get to have their say on bodybuilding. And I think we can grow bodybuilding more through YouTube, through all these other outlets as well. And I think it's only a good thing. It's only a good thing for the sport of bodybuilding. So let me know your thoughts on Nick Trigili having the chance to, I suppose, be chosen as a commentator for that 2023 Arnold Classic. He has been chosen by Brian Powers and the Arnold Classic Committee, and shout out to them as well. And if you do want to purchase that pay-per-view where you can listen to Nick Trigili, you can listen to Fouad, you can listen to Dennis James, you can listen to Arnold and all those people in that stream, you're going to purchase it anyway. Purchase it using Desktop 10. You'll save yourself 10%. And also it will give me a little baby kickback as well. So that's it for this video, guys. Appreciate your support. If you do like and appreciate this content, give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including all my 2023 Arnold Classic coverage. So this is Desktop Bodybuilding. I'm Xavier Wills and we are out.